You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we are very happy for you to be with us, joining us. That's not really how I wanted to say it, but it came out really wrong. Happy you joined us today. We got a lot we're going to talk about, try and squeeze it all in. We're taping. We have a particular day we tape, and it seems to be working so far. And we did a little bit earlier today because you're off and I took the day off, and we did some Christmas shopping, some early Christmas shopping, and we did pretty good.
Yeah, we did okay.
I thought we did okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we found some things.
Yeah, which is sometimes you can find them and sometimes you can't, but I thought we did pretty good. We do a grab bag, so makes things a little bit. It used to be we bought for everybody. And that was, that could be, and nowadays with inflation, it's kind of tough. So we got a couple things we're going to talk about today on the show. We're going to talk about the best thing about being a kid. They did a survey asking kids, and then later on they talked about adults and what they miss about being a kid. So you can kind of ponder that one, Terry. I got some really good excuses. If you're looking for excuses to get out of work, I got some good ones for you. Now, this next story we're going to talk about coming up is vitamins. And do you believe everything that they tell you they do? It's interesting because I don't think of it that way. I take a vitamin here, vitamin there, whatever.
There's vitamins in our food. There's certain vitamins are in the food.
Right.
That's why certain foods are better for you than other foods.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just a vitamin.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you don't know if they've been so processed that they're even worth anything.
True. And then we're going to talk about Pilates and sex. This is going to help if you have low libido. Pilates, you need to start taking.
I'm not allowed to do Pilates.
Pilates
Most of it is your legs in the air, and it's bad for your back.
I thought you were on your back anyway.
Weak back.
We're talking about Pilates, aren't we? And then we're talking about the worst part of the holidays. I want to kind of bring you a study that they did about Christmas because we're getting close. We're into December, so we'll finish up with a Christmas study. The worst part about the holidays. Speaking of the holidays, we had ours. Now we're through the trying to get rid of all the sweets so we can start over again for Christmas.
Yes, because it's Christmas baking season. That means different cookies every night.
Yeah. Right. You mean baking wise?
Yes, for me.
Yeah, baking wise. We're into this. We've had pies.
Lots of pies.
And then you are pretty much.
We didn't even have Thanksgiving. At our house.
We did not have
we didn't.
Here.
And we had your mom's early, but that didn't, we were missing people. And then our neighbors sent all kinds of food for us because.
Birthday cake, because he had a birthday. And then they gave us some turkey because we didn't have Thanksgiving. Long story. No sense in getting into that.
And then.
We had Thanksgiving, but not, we were going to go somewhere else. We had Thanksgiving early.
And then we were going to go to my sister's for Thanksgiving. And then the day before Thanksgiving, Roberta sent over ham and
it was delicious
bread. It was delicious.
Fantastic.
Roberta, thank you very much.
Yes.
It was our meal that day.
It was.
On the run.
It was
because we got to watch kids that day.
We got to watch
situation, but we got to watch kids extra days.
He stayed overnight, and he does he takes long naps, though, for us, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think you wear him out, and then
is that what it is?
A long nap, and then he won't go back to sleep.
I need to sleep when he sleeps so that I'm
ready and refreshed. I know, because that night you were snoring on the couch, and he kept looking up at you, and I said he was only sleeping, and then he would giggle, and he'd put his head back down and watch Bluey again. But he didn't wake you up. I was waiting for him to go and wake you up, so you do that.
I always pretend like I'm sleeping.
And then you go, like you're startled, and then he laughs.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can wake him up, it'll startle him. And he just grinned at me and put his head down because he knew you were really asleep.
He is, there's nothing like it. When he's here, he's 100% go. And then when he's gone, you just miss him. You miss that that fountain of youth almost.
You're not even allowed to leave the room now, though.
No, I can't even leave the room. I can't even take a pee break. And then he calls me mama, not the mama. I don't know if he does it on purpose because I
think
say.
he does because then when you were sleeping, I was like, Grandpa's sleep. He's really sleeping.
Yeah.
And he put his head back down and watched Bluey.
Because he looks at me and he'll go, Mom, I'm not mama. And he laughs. I don't know if he just does it on purpose or what. But anyway. But
kind of like Nathan did to Jillian take her baby doll.
Yeah.
And Janet bought him a baby doll and he threw it at her.
Yeah, he says, I don't want that.
He just did it just to annoy Jillian. That's
worst Christmas present ever when he got a baby doll. He was not happy. All right, we're going to start off before we get to the best things about being a child. And I want to give you a scenario. And you're going to tell me which one got more votes in this survey. So you're going to pick the worst.
Okay, which one got more votes?
Got the more votes, worst? Yeah, for the worst. Okay. So the survey was garlic bread or morning breath. Which do you think they thought was worse?
The morning breath.
You right on target. 74% of people said morning breath is definitely the worst. Although garlic bread, you got to admit, when you eat garlic, I mean, it lasts.
I know you really hate it when I eat Doritos or something.
The Doritos. I don't mind the Doritos too much. Speaking of eating, where you're going to make some Chex Mix, but you almost have.
I have
you have eaten the pub mix almost down to a quarter.
No, it's
of
about
this
a half.
Giant
it's about
bucket.
half full.
It is. We bought 3 because
you can't get
you can't
one.
find it.
You can't go into Sam's Club and just buy one now.
So we bought it online, got 3 buckets, and she devoured one pretty much on its own. I've never touched it.
I've only got half of it gone.
I'm telling you, there's more. We'll have to measure, but you are really. And it's got a little smell. I don't know what's in it.
It's garlic.
Is it the garlic?
It's got the garlic, and yeah, it's got garlic. It's got garlic breadsticks, cheese breadsticks, garlic, bagel chips. Yeah,
it's
yummy.
I know.
I especially like those little sesame seed sticks with the little.
I hit it, and you somehow, just like Fenn and a remote, you can't hide the remote anywhere. He finds it. He loves remotes. He loves your phone. He knows how to, he knows the swiping. He sits there and pushes on the
buttons.
It's the way kids are with electronics, today, they just jump right in, but it took us a while to kind of get in the flow of things. We kind of grew up with it because it came in the 80s and we were young. So we were able to kind of go with the flow, but older people were like struggling to figure out how to use the computer and all that stuff. But anyway, he doesn't struggle. He knows, because he wants to sit on my lap, and I have to get a pretend, it's not a pretend, it's a real one, but it's not hooked up, a keyboard. And he sits there and bangs on the keyboard, and he looks at the screen thinking that he's making things happen. And we've done that for a couple hours. He that's all he wanted to do before he left on Saturday. He
needs a computer I don't think his tablet does. He still likes the keys. He likes keys.
That's true. Okay, so I want to ask you, what is in order, what is the first 3 things you do when you wake up in the morning? First 3 things in order. Like, what's first?
I go straight to pee usually.
Yeah, that's my number. It's my number 1. It's literally number 1.
And then a lot of times I weigh myself.
Sometimes the number 2. It just depends.
Yeah.
But most times
it's just number 1.
Most time it's number 1.
Then I usually weigh myself right there.
That's number 2.
And I check my phone.
Number 3.
I think. Well, I don't always. It depends. Well, usually I want the weather to, know how cold it's going to be.
What am I wearing? Although you do that the night before.
Yeah, I do that sometimes the night before.
So I pee and take my medicine, because I always forget that little tiny pill. Take that. And then
you usually go into your station.
Well, then I usually do the morning show or exercise somewhere in there. So that's my first
3
things. None of that it takes care of the morning breath. Did you notice that?
Yep, none of it does me. Because the other thing I do is if my hips are bothering me, I put my feet on the wall and do my back stretches.
Yeah, none of it takes care of the morning breath. So I guess our morning breath is not that bad because we don't mind it at all. Although you did pick morning breath as the worst, then garlic breath. Okay, now we can get into what was the best things about being a kid. Now, this study was done with kids under 11.
Playing ball in the street.
Yeah. These kids, number one, like getting presents. I mean, when you're a kid, other than someone surprising you with underwear and socks, usually the presents were pretty good for the most part.
I had some nice presents.
So getting presents, feeling loved by parents was number two. And school holidays are considered the greatest things.
I remember loving snow days.
That's what I was going to say.
Snow days were just wonderful. We all put our snowsuits on and boots, and we went out in the neighborhood, and we went sled riding, and we had snowball fights, and we built forts, and snow days were great.
Kids aren't going to know what snow days are anymore. They have no clue what a snow day is.
I know. They have to stay home and be on their computer.
Yeah. They don't even know how good that was to have a snow day. Oh, you knew the snow was coming. So back then the first thing you did was check either the radio or the TV to see if your school was at least a 2-hour delay, if not a cancellation. 2-hour delay, it made the day go fast, but
the cancellations were great.
They also named riding their bike. They liked riding their bike, playing traditional party games, using Play-Doh as some of their favorite things.
Our kids, we had fun with Play-Doh.
Building dens. With tents, anything to build.
We did that a lot.
Climbing trees, jumping in puddles. If you can find a good puddle.
In the summertime when it would rain, we used to put our bathing suits out on in the neighborhood, and everyone would run out in the rain like a sprinkler. When it was real hot, and then got rain.
Yeah. But even when it's
everyone in the whole neighborhood being out in their swimsuits, all the kids in the neighborhood. We lived in a neighborhood was wall to wall kids, so.
Right?
And then we would be jumping in the puddles and splashing each other with mud. And
in those days, now you don't even want to get mud on you.
And we used to ice skate on the pond out behind our neighborhood. And that's how one of Gary's friends put his dad's truck in the pond because the ice wasn't thick enough.
Why would he want to try it? I don't understand why he would want to put a truck on the ice without testing it.
I think he was going to plow the snow off of it so that we could ice skate.
Oh, ice skate.
I can't remember all the details, but I just remember the truck in the pond.
Yeah, I think I'd want to check that first before you... Did you get it out?
Yeah, a tow truck came and towed it out.
Oh, it wasn't all the way submerged.
I don't think so, but...
It was also... it also said that 7 in 10 children are looking forward to growing up. Stay young, folks. I'm telling you, sometimes it's fun to stay young and not have all the... They
don't want to do what their parents tell them, but then when you have bills, then you have to do what your parents tell you anyhow to pay the bills. So,
yeah. But they are apprehensive about things being less fun. Yeah, I mean, I think these things you can live through your we're living back through our grandchild, some of the things that we did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Although he's still kind of young, but then they polled 1,000 parents, and 88% missed their childhood years. Did you have a good childhood years?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. I had, I mean, when we lived in Michigan, there was lots of kids around all the time. There's always someone to play
with. We did too. We had tons of kids in our neighborhood. We played wiffle ball and football. We had this wooded area. Now there's houses there now, but and we cut it all. We cut the trees down. We leveled it off as best we could, and we played football up there. It was great. We hide and seek. There was just kids everywhere. There was something to do every day. It was fun. Of the parents polled, 35% missed not having to work Yeah, I mean, when you're off, like we've been off the last 5 days, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't miss work when I'm off.
I'm not going to lie. I don't miss it either.
I don't miss it. I'm thinking about retiring, and I don't want to go back tomorrow. So, yeah, I could retire.
You could retire, definitely. As long as the money keeps flowing.
Yeah, that's the problem. You retire, the bills keep coming in, but the money doesn't. So, yeah.
41% long for a time with no bills to pay. Boy, yeah, ain't that the truth? Of course, I make a lot of my own bills, so it's my own fault. 4 and 10 want to go back to a time when they had no financial worries. I mean, it's tough. I mean, especially nowadays, everything's so expensive.
We're finally at the point where we don't have to worry about every penny, though. I mean, there was years that we lived from paycheck to paycheck. I stayed home with kids for 5, 7 years, and we sacrificed for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived from paycheck to paycheck. If someone got sick, I had to charge medicine, or I had to charge, something to make it, and then pay it off.
You had to do what you had to do.
Yeah.
Parents say they miss playing traditional party games, like Simon Says.
Kids want to play that at children's church every week.
Do they really?
They wanted to play it again yesterday.
I'll be darned.
I made them play Mother May I instead because it was listed in our
It was on that activity.
Mm-hmm.
Watching TV after school, the Brady Bunch.
Yes, that's what I used to watch, Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch. I put that on for one of my middle child, Zach. We'll have to get him on here and have him talk about. He just could not understand how we watched.
Your youngest child, Jack.
Or my youngest one. How we watched the Brady Bunch. He said, "How did you watch that?" Hey, when it's the only thing on, you only have like 4 channels back then. You gotta take what you can get at that point. Some people want to spend more time outdoors. I don't know. I spend enough time outdoors. This is gonna sound weird, but this time of year, I just feel like there's some stuff off my shoulders. Like there's not the pool to clean. I don't have to worry about cutting grass. I used to wash the car. I don't do that as much as I used to. Really kind of slowed down on that too. So it's kind of like this has made this a little easier doing a podcast because I don't have all this stuff thinking this, the yard's got to be cut, or whatever to try and just get ahead of it. So I don't have to do it on the weekend because I like the weekend to be a weekend. So we can spend at the pool and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get into a routine and do this in the summer or just have somebody cut the grass for me, which is another bill. And I don't want to do that either. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay somebody to cut the grass. I will maybe eventually. I don't know.
Well, if I retire, I'll cut the grass.
I mean, eventually if we get old enough, we might not be able to do it with this freaking hill we're on. But yeah, I mean, even if you do like you did anyway, you do part of it.
I could do the top half one day and the bottom half the next.
Or just leave the top and I'll do that. I mean, that's no big deal. But anyway, so here's some of the best things about being a child. We already talked about kids really like getting presents at Christmas, feeling loved by their parents. That was number 2. Always excited about Christmas was number 3. School holidays was 4. Being really excited about birthdays. Back then you look forward to birthdays either with your parents.
Our family didn't do much for birthdays. We went out to eat. We went out to eat for everyone's birthday, and you got to choose whoever's birthday it was. Got to choose.
My grandmother on my mom's side would make the cake. She always made the cake, giant cake. It was really good. Anything my grandmother's made, fantastic. And they would all come over, and all my cousins.
And that was a birthday party in itself because you had like 9.
Yeah, I had just my mom's sisters. There was 9 of us, so it was. And my brother and my sister, with eventually
all of you
my brother and my sister.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Being outdoors more.
That's how we were in Michigan too.
Having lots of friends as a child. Making dens, jumping in puddles. We talked about that. Watching TV as soon as you got home from school. Getting treats whenever the grandparents came around.
Your grandparents made cheese and pepperoni crackers for our kids all the time. They always remember that.
Always having energy. Sometimes I miss that little bit energy, always having that.
Yeah, I would love to bottle that.
Kids like getting a visit from the tooth fairy after losing a tooth. Now we lose a tooth and
I just got a quarter.
And it costs you money.
I got a quarter. We put it in a glass of water on the kitchen counter and there'd be a quarter in it the next morning.
A quarter in the water with the tooth, or is the tooth gone?
The tooth would be gone in the water.
Sleepovers, they miss that. Being a kid, going to water parks on a holiday, playing with your siblings, getting piggybacks, being carried to bed by your parents when you fell asleep on the floor. Some of the things that some of the best things about being a child. I think just that carefree, you know what I mean? But
I remember loving summer. I loved summer. I'd get up and I would, even if I slept in or whatever, I would put my bathing suit on and run outside, and because we always had a pool. So I always put my bathing suit on first. Sometimes I'd put a pair of shorts on over it, but then I was ready to go swimming if anyone would go in with me, because I was youngest, so I couldn't go in by myself. It's
just that carefreeness that not really, again, a lot of these things were on this list, just not having any real worries. I mean, I was very blessed as a child. I had a great family, great support system. There are probably some people out there to be like, my childhood wasn't that terrific. We have dealt with, we've done foster care. Yes. We've been in that, we've had kids in and out of the house, and some really sad stories.
Yeah,
very sad
some
stories.
Of them, you would think that our house was like great because they didn't have anything to do at their houses.
I think our thought was with foster care it was twofold. We wanted to help, number one, but we also wanted to tell our kids, life isn't easy for everybody. Not everybody has.
Let them appreciate what they have. And I think they do. Yeah, I really do think that foster care helped them realize that, hey, these kids came here with...
They had nothing.
And mom would take them to Gabe's or wherever with their clothing allotment and get them a few things. And then when they left here, if they stayed for any amount of time, they left with as much as my kids had.
Absolutely.
Usually.
We gave them anything.
That 25 cents, 30 cents they gave me a day for a clothing allotment. I stretched it as much as I could. Then birthdays and Christmas,
Yeah. It was, at that time we only had one bathroom, so we built the addition, and that came in. And we, I wish I could say we still are in touch with the kids. We're not. We don't. We have no idea how they are, where they are. And that's sad.
Yeah, a couple of my girlfriends do. They were invited to weddings of their foster kids and stuff like that.
We didn't have them, really, to be honest. The longest one might have been Caleb and Helen.
We had them, and we had Tiffany about the same time.
Yeah. It wasn't like we had them for years.
Yeah, some of them we only had for weeks at a time.
Yeah. So anyway.
They were here and gone,
But, foster care. And I think, again, we talk about our childhood because we had a fun childhood, but I'm sure there are some out there thinking, I wish mine could have been like that. But
yeah, some people do not have that carefree childhood.
They don't.
Their parents work and they sit alone in an apartment all by themselves and, are scared.
Right. A lot of them probably didn't even know where their next meal was going to be because their parents were working hard trying to make ends meet.
Keep a roof over their heads,
Well, that was a downer. We just kind of went right down to the. But it's so unfortunate, but it's true.
You have to be appreciative of what you had.
Absolutely,
I think that's the whole thing.
Really the bottom line is try to make the best out of any situation that you can. If you're looking for an excuse tomorrow, too, I've got some excuses here. If you want to call in sick, Career Builder had some excuses that they heard or had HR had given them some of the excuses that they had gotten from people saying they were sick. One person called in saying a bear was in the yard and they were afraid to come out. So if there's a bear in your yard, stay in the house. Well, nowadays, though, you could say that and just work from home.
Yeah, they'll say that's fine. Work. Get on your computer and start from home.
Exactly. Another employee ate a toothpick in his food at a restaurant. That sounds dangerous, let alone calling in the next day.
Yeah.
Oof. Eat a toothpick. I could see eating hair, having a piece of hair in your food.
That'll just come out the other end, though.
Eventually, if you can get it out of your, like sometimes you can't get it out of your mouth. It's in there. It's just disgusting, isn't it?
I've changed kids' diapers and pulled it out.
Another excuse employees used to call in sick: the dog swallowed an employee's car keys, and she was waiting until it came out.
Oh, well, that could take.
Ew.
That could take a long time.
Ew is what I got. I'm not waiting. I'm just gonna. Well, of course, that's the only key you have.
If they could, they may have to go in after it.
You need a spare key, and you need it pronto. I mean, God, so you got to follow the dog around. You know how Rigby starts in one area and ends up halfway down the yard because he doesn't stay in one spot. Goofball. So they're waiting for their keys to come out of the dog, if that's really what happened. Another employee left his clothes at the laundromat. All of them? Every single clothing he had is left at the laundromat.
Oh, his work clothes.
Oh, everything. Can't. Yeah, well,
if he left them, they're probably gone.
I guess it depends.
Probably took them.
I guess it depends on. Yeah, that's a good point.
And if they're nice clothes, like if you shop and you know what I mean,
just
like
leave them though.
If you have to dress for work, you know what I mean, like suits or like, you have to dress, and you buy nice things, they would be gone when you went back.
Yeah, but why would you? I just don't understand how you could just leave them there. If you put them in the washing machine and then you put them in the dryer,
then you
would think.
Then you put them in the laundry basket and take them home.
And go home. Anyway. Finally, some excuses from employees to call in sick. An employee had to schedule a new manicure because some of their artificial nails fell off. And those are just some of the excuses
and I'd say
you could use.
Wrong. You either take a personal day or you
they had
get
to,
doc
right?
pay.
If they're calling off, they got to use a day.
Doc pay.
How about just, you can use I'm not feeling good, although that comes back to haunt you.
Now you have to take, nowadays they'll say, did you take a COVID test? Well, now you have to take one before you can come back.
Saying you're sick nowadays is just, it's not good because they'll say, what are the symptoms? Well, just, you really want to know the truth? I just don't want to come to work today. I mean, if you really want to hear it, I'd rather use that one. My nail fell off. I'm going to go get a manicure and my nails put back on. I'd rather say that. Okay. So those are just some excuses if you're looking to, I've got the sheets. All right. So now vitamins, we take vitamins. You take a lot of vitamins. And there was a survey that they had done about vitamins, and it said that most people do not believe the ads that claim vitamin supplements or herbs can delay aging. Well, I mean, come on. What do you mean delay aging? You're going to get older whether you like it or not. But they buy the products anyway. And I don't buy them for that. Like I've been taking vitamin D for the last 2.5 years. And I don't know if sometimes I wonder if it's
psychological,
if it's in my mind that if I don't take it,
you get a cough,
then I'm going to get, because
COVID.
I got COVID. I got to take my vitamin D. But I mean, vitamin D is good for you, especially nowadays.
Vitamin D came in our house after I had N1H1. I couldn't get rid of the cough.
Right.
And someone told me try vitamin D. And so I did. And the cough went away about week and a half, 2 weeks on vitamin D, and the cough finally went away. So now every time I get something that leaves me with a cough,
But you don't take
vitamin D.
Just take vitamin D?
I've been taking it since on and off since COVID because I don't want COVID. But then I got it. I think I was taking it when I got COVID.
Oh, I was
last winter.
I've been taking it, and I've been, knock on wood, I've been pretty. Again, it might be.
I'm the only one that ran a fever.
Psychological.
Those days, you know what I mean? When we had COVID, I'm the only one who. But then again, look at my system.
Most people do believe that healthy living is the way to prolong youth, and that's no brainer. You exercise, eat right, do the things.
Eat your veggies instead of all them noodles and sweets.
And even says that in here that the majority thought that they'd age more slowly if they exercised, they didn't smoke, ate fruits and vegetables, and weren't overweight. And I think that's just common sense, isn't it? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you put all that together, that's how you make it work. I think riding the bike, I didn't do it this morning because we were running. We went running right out because we like to beat the crowds. We went out yesterday, and Terry says, it's a beautiful day. And it was sunny. But man, that storm hit, and look out.
We were in a monsoon.
Oh, it was horrible.
I was sopping wet.
Some people had
hail,
and it ruined their siding of their house, their cars. Windows were broken.
I didn't hear any hail.
Not here. I didn't know.
I didn't, but it was really raining.
Oh, we were in Target.
We were. Well, on the way, we ran into Target in the pouring monsoon. So, yeah.
We waited, and then you said, let's go.
I said, I can't wait here all day. Yeah, well, it seemed to slow down a little bit, but then as soon as we got out of the car doors, it poured again harder. So my feet were sopping wet the whole time we were there.
Yeah, but for those that had some damage, man, we're praying for you because there's some pictures I saw. The siding of the house just looked like
golf balls.
Golf balls just hit it and just busted it all up. It's terrible. All right, we come back. We're going to talk about Pilates and what it can do for you. We're also going to talk about the worst part of the holidays, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun, and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great-looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of our podcast. We've done this now 2 seasons. Is there something about us podcasting that you enjoy, something you do? Because I'd like to get some feedback from you while you're almost asleep over there. You really held that in, that yawn. You really were holding that in over there. Are you really tired? Did this tire you out today?
I'm just, I don't know. I've been tired in general lately.
So you need to exercise and take your vitamins. Do the Hulk Hogan.
Maybe just quit eating the sugar would help me.
Well, that would make it, me too, because it's all over this freaking house. And then you bought 9 different M&Ms. I don't know how many M&Ms are in this house.
Well, that's for my candied Chex Mix.
Yeah. So anyway, is there something though that
I make candied peanut, and then I'm going to make regular.
Of the Chex Mix. Yeah. So is there something that's about the podcast that you'd like to do more of, or is there anything that you'd like to do different? I'll let you ponder that because he's over there pondering. And so she's not I kind of throw that at her.
The only thing I like to do, I really liked our idea for summer to do the like taste testing things. Yes. When they come out with something new, and we couldn't get it. We're just in the wrong area of the country we're not in the sample area for any of those. Not
Little Washington.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Because I would have loved to do like a Krispy Kreme's taste test or gelati or, anything that they come out with new, and then we compare it to something, Yeah.
Hey, do you remember, this topic came up before I get to the Pilates, but it said, what movie did your kids watch over and over and over again? A survey said the average little kid will watch his or her favorite movie 244 times.
When RJ was 2, it was Bambi. When the boys were a little bit bigger, it was Small Soldiers. And then Josh and Zachary went through the Small Soldiers. It's a wonder that tape has any thread on it.
I don't even think we have. Do we still have that one?
I don't know.
Might have it on CD now.
I wonder if one
or
of
DVD,
the. I wonder if Josh or Zachary has it someplace. But they watched Small Soldiers. They had the game. They got the game back out, and they played the game, and they just loved it. And it was old by then.
Yeah, because our kids.
Yeah, because
RJ
and Nathan watched it. It was new when they were younger.
I was trying to think of the
Home Alones they watched.
Well, yeah, the Home Alones.
But I don't think they watched them over and over.
No.
The ones that we watch over and over are still the ones you watch.
When they were, I remember RJ
Christmas
going through that
Vacation.
Bambi phase. He watched that a lot. Was it Bambi? Yeah, Bambi.
Mm-hmm. When he was like 2 to 3, he watched Bambi. He would watch it, and Grandma was watching him. Can we watch something else now?
Watch something different.
Anything else?
So, ladies and gentlemen out there, what kids did you, or what did you watch as a child over and over and over?
We still watch our Christmas.
We watch Christmas Vacation.
And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, there's a new version of that one that had some scenes that they added some scenes that they had taken out, but I just love, that's a great movie. Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Christmas Vacation. And we'll be getting those out here soon as we get into Christmas. And then they have all these Hallmark movies. They're all the same. All the stories are the same. You get this cranky old woman or man, and he ends up doing something or supposed to be mean, and then he finds somebody that, I don't know, it's the same repetitive story over and over. I don't know how it could be any different. People love the Hallmark movies, man. They love those Christmas movies. Well, you don't watch them, but
I have watched them sometimes.
Yeah, but you're not.
I'm not glued to them.
You're not glued to it. Yeah. Anyway, so I just trying to think if there's another movie that the kids watch, but I can't think of one that they just basically wore out.
I remember watching Ernest Saves Christmas, and I remember watching, but we had the movie store, so we had those. We did. We had
we could watch whatever.
They sent you screeners all the time, and so they watched screeners all the time. They'd say, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I didn't like that."
Yeah, the Ernest movies. We did watch those.
I think that had.
Yeah, we did. Ernest goes to camp. Ernest goes to school. Yeah, we did watch a lot of those back in the day. Okay, so let me know, and maybe in the comments, what your kids are watching or what you watched. I was trying to think what I watched as a kid over and over. I don't remember. I can't remember.
We had to watch what my dad was watching in the living room, and if you didn't like it, you didn't watch TV. So we didn't watch a lot of TV growing up because when my dad was home, he controlled the TV.
I just don't remember. I
remember he watched MASH all the time. He watched
have VHS back in the day when I was young.
What's the detective
I'm old.
show? What's the detective show he watched? One of the detective shows all the time.
Well, let's see. It'd be Mannix, Cannon. Remember Cannon? He was a real big guy. I guess you can't say fat guy, but he was fat. Columbo.
I think he watched Columbo a little bit.
Detective.
But he watched,
what was the Telly Savalas one? Kojak. Did you watch Kojak? Man, I'm real.
No, what's the oh God.
Rockford Files. Is that what it was?
It might have been Rockford Files. I think it's Rockford. He put dark
James
hair.
Garner?
Yes.
Yeah. Rockford Files. That was good. I remember that. My dad would watch that too. Mannix.
Yeah.
Mannix was one.
Yeah, Mannix was
Boy,
one.
oh boy. We had to do a show just on all the old shows.
I remember the Waltons being on.
See, I never watched the Waltons or...
I just remember...
What was the other one? Little House on the Prairie.
Now, I liked Little House on the Prairie. It was my favorite, but I only got to see it if no one else was around.
Because they didn't watch it.
But then when we moved here, I could watch reruns of it because everyone went away on Saturday night, and if I stayed home alone, I could watch it.
Oh, man.
If I could find a rerun
What
of
a
it.
party animal you are.
Yeah.
Watch Little House on the Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we should just go by some of the shows we used to watch. Sanford and Son and All in the Family. And
some of them are really
some people
funny.
can't take All in the Family nowadays. They wouldn't be able to.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have a meltdown.
It would offend too many
they'd have a
people.
meltdown. All right, so here's the thing right here. This is going to help us. It's going to help us have better sex. You ready? Pilates. Pilates boosts your sex life. Women who attend classes twice a week get aroused easier and orgasm more. Are you listening to this? Paying attention?
Do I care?
No. Women suffering from low libido and pain during sex went to bi-weekly Pilates classes, and it was shown to boost arousal and
did it
other
help
things.
the pain?
And they said that, they said the classes could act as treatment. The volunteers in the study attended an hour-long Pilates class twice a week for 3 months and abstained from all other exercise. All they did was Pilates. That was it. And it's repetitive, right? It's a repetitive exercise on a yoga mat or a bed-like machine to boost strength, stability, and flexibility. And researchers say it aims to achieve better functioning of the body by strengthening the lower trunk. Now, that's true. Do you want that core to be strong? And that helps your back. Well, you know that. Yeah, if anybody would know that.
But if your back is already weak and you're trying to strengthen your core and you hold your legs up too much, it can damage things that are fixed in your back.
Well, do you have to just do everything like flat? You could probably still do some of the exercises.
You may have to do a variant of it, though, so that you don't hurt yourself.
Self-reported score jumped from 12 to 29 out of 95 on average. The score below 26 is assigned to be a female sexual dysfunction. Their levels of desire improved by 136%, while their orgasms had increased by 140%. And the pain dropped by 116%. So I don't know exactly what.
It must be getting rough.
How rough you're getting. But well, that's not true because there are women that actually have pain, have issues and have pain during it. And that's what fun is that if you're getting that way? But they're saying that somehow the Pilates really helps in strengthening, and maybe it's a mind thing. Isn't that like a quieting time, Pilates?
Just do your Kegels.
Well, yeah, but that's different than this. Kegels is tightening. That's tightening.
Yeah.
And this is more...
it's just tightening your stomach and then your Kegels.
This is just trying to get you in the mood. I'm just trying to get you in the mood. Whatever works.
You're not hurting for it that much.
I'm hurting, babe. Hurt. I'm in pain over here. It's all good. I better stop while I'm ahead here. All right, so what do you think would be the worst part of the holidays? If you had to pick I love the holidays. I do. I like getting together with friends and family.
When I wasn't working, baking is a chore.
Yeah,
baking is kind of a chore. I used to love to bake and make the cookies. And see, if I had all day, every day, but I come home, I whip up a batch of cookies, I cook them, and then dinner, and then I'm like, oh, God, I got to put all this away before I go. And then I go to bed, and I get up and do it all over. It's just not as much fun as it used to be, when you had all day to do it.
Feels like you said, it feels like a chore.
It feels like more like a chore, but I do it because
so good.
I like to have the cookies for Christmas in that week that we're off, and I give them away as gifts.
We do cookies up here for weddings. We do cookies up here for everything.
Yeah,
we have a cookie table at weddings, and I mean it's just our thing. People have come from other states like, what is this thing? It's a cookie table.
Yeah, now they have candy tables. Yeah,
now they do candy. They do
chocolate fountains.
The one we went to had the hors d'oeuvres and stuff.
The shrimp and the crab cakes and shrimp cocktail, crab cakes. What else was on there? Stuffed mushrooms.
Oh, just tons of stuff.
Bacon wrapped shrimp, bacon wrap. Oh, they had all kinds.
And
it
sounds
stuff.
silly, but I kind of like the idea of having the cheeses and the crackers and that sounds stupid, but when they
had that too at that wedding.
They did, and the thing of it is, it's because I love that kind of stuff, but I don't want to cut it all up, because you got to cut it all up. But my grandmother would do it for her great grandkids. We would say, hey, we're going to come over and visit you. And man, you talk about a smorgasbord of just everything from ho-hos, cookies to this. And the kids will still remember this today because he would cut all the pepperoni and they would line it all up, all the cheeses, all the crackers. And it was, it's those little things
they remember.
It's the greatest. And hopefully I can come up with something.
And Nana Mary always had cookies in the freezer.
Yes, always.
Always.
The greatest chocolate chip cookie you could ever eat.
And she would, if we come in the house and she'd be like, do you want a cookie? Okay, let's go see what we have.
Yeah.
And she would. And I remember when the older boys were big enough when she moved down to Chartiers, Houston, and we would drop them off at soccer practice, and Zachary would go by himself.
You get to eat cookies while they're running around.
Cookie, and then she'd send them each a cookie back. But
yeah, just fun part. But anyway, so and the thing about Christmas, which is it starts so early. You have the Christmas music that starts before Thanksgiving. You got the trees going up. Even in August and September, the trees are already started. You can't even get to Halloween.
Your mom had hers up for Thanksgiving.
No, I'm talking about in stores.
Oh, yeah.
Some people start early. That's just they liked having a tree up. Some people keep their tree up all year long, and then they decorate it per holiday. In other words,
I've seen people
Christmas,
put
and then they'll do
eggs on it.
Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day or Easter. Yeah, whatever. So the worst part, according to this, isn't the music. We talked about that some people
don't like the music
because it reminds them of all the things they have to do.
And it stresses them out.
You might be surprised.
You know what? We've never overdone Christmas. I guess that's why I don't get stressed out. Like if I don't get one of my cookies made, oh well.
I like the Christmas music.
I like the Christmas music too because, and that's another thing. Like one year, RJ asked me for something that cost over $1,000 for Christmas. I said, honey, I don't even spend that much on all of Christmas. And he looked at me like, you got to be kidding me. All we have, I planned, I got sales. It always looked like we had a really big Christmas, but I never went and used a charge card and spent thousands of dollars that we didn't have. We never had like after Christmas bills. We might have one or two small ones, like if I splurged on a game unit or something, but it was never thousands of dollars, which I've seen people go way overboard and do Christmas and then they have to pay for it all.
Yeah.
And we never stressed ourselves out that way.
I was kind of surprised at Zachary when he came in where our tree was up and he said, was the music blaring?
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it because I used to always, and it was Amy Grant. Amy Grant had a Christmas CD and I'd play it because I love Amy Grant. I used to do radio way back in the day. That I actually became more aware of her music when I was down in West Virginia. I was working down at WPQR used to be. Now it's WPIG, but it was in Uniontown. But the one in West Virginia, I can't remember. And I had to do Sunday mornings. And it was all Christian music. And that's how I got to really, you had albums from Amy Grant.
Yeah, I did.
But anyway, so, but that was funny that he said that. He said, was the music blaring while you're and I didn't think about it. It's funny how kids remember. Again, there's that thing remember
That's
about.
what he remembers
I didn't
about
have
the day after Thanksgiving, waking up to Christmas music and everyone
and putting up the tree.
all the stuff all over the family room to get the tree out and everything.
Okay, so we know it's not the music. What do you think, according to this survey, was the worst part of the holiday, about the holiday? What do you think
Some people might say they're relatives.
Well, they might, but
because they're hard.
It's not the relatives.
Some people have a jerk in the family that they have to put up with.
They don't want to have to deal with them. You might be surprised about this one because now it's a little easier. We don't wrap as much as we used to. People hate wrapping presents. Yeah, they identified the worst part of the holiday season was wrapping gifts. They said that they hate the task so much that they said they'd rather have a professional, wrap their gifts. They'll do anything to avoid wrapping. Is that how the bags came into play, you think?
Maybe.
These things come out of nowhere, these bags.
Yeah,
and they do make things a lot easier.
Now.
They do make things they are nice because you just throw it in a bag, you throw some of that tissue paper in there, boom, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Half will go out of their way to buy easy to wrap gifts. The hardest gifts to wrap, which I don't know why you would wrap a bicycle, put a bow on it and call it a day. I mean, seriously.
Just go get a big
Why
bow.
are you wrapping a bike? Who's got the time? Put it together, throw a bow on it, you're done.
Our things we left in the box. Our whole Christmas day was putting the toys together.
Yes.
After they opened.
Well, because we had
and
Legos.
There were different Christmas Eves. We spent the night putting them together just so we wouldn't have to spend all day Christmas Day putting them together.
True. These people are wrapping bikes, gym equipment. Why are you wrapping gym equipment? That doesn't make any sense. Sporting balls. They're sporting their balls. Guitars and candles. Candles, what do you...
Candles
would be easy. You put it in a box and it's pretty simple. I mean, or you can put it in a bag.
Or
more than half can tell what something is and who it's from based on how it's wrapped, I guess.
Everyone knows what they're getting from me. Like all the little people that I work with and stuff.
They know.
Get them the same thing.
The friends at work know that you make the Chex Mix and they're looking forward to that. So that's the biggie.
It's like I can't let them down.
No, you cannot let them down. And she's eating it all, folks. I'm trying to get her to make it before she eats all the pub mix. I don't want to buy another $50 worth of pub mix. The average person spends $56 on gift wrapping materials for the holidays. We've been using the same holiday paper for the last 10 years, I think. Well,
the thing about it is I never buy wrapping paper for the season. I buy it after the season. I get it for very cheap, but put it in the attic. I just get what's left over that I like, and then it's there for the next season. I don't think I've ever paid full price for wrapping paper.
Oh, no, we always wait till after the season. I mean,
and we put like when I am putting things away this year, if I'm low on it, I'll go buy 1 or 2 roll. If I'm really low, I'll go buy like a 5-pack, 2 5-packs, and then I'm ready for next year. And I got it for half price or less. I mean, sometimes you get it for 50 cents and you just throw it in the attic and that's what you use the next year.
We were at Big Lots today and that lady in front of us had, a cart just full of Christmas stuff. And she goes, I see that this is 50% off. And the lady went, 50, because it's not even Christmas yet.
Yeah.
And they had Christmas items already 50% off.
Just certain ones, I think they were.
But there's those big giant balls. She had those big bulbs. I mean, these things were huge.
They were like for an outside pond. Like if you had a pine tree in your front yard, she probably has a tree someplace in her yard that she's going to hang them.
I mean, they were some giant balls. They were huge.
Like when we had the pine trees here in the side yard, if we would have left them there, but which we've taken them all out for driveways and parking space.
Well, the other thing,
if we had one right there, I would buy them for that, just to decorate that tree.
Either that or she has a giant Clark Griswold Christmas tree in her house because those things were huge. So it has to be an outside type thing, I would think.
Yeah.
So here's the most anticipated gifts of the year. We'll start at number 10. A lot of people like self-care products. Comes in at number 10.
I like body spray, bath and body stuff. I like that.
Fitness equipment came in at number 9. We're not going to, we have bought a treadmill and we bought a bike. But that
And
was
those
2 years
were
ago.
two our presents for each other for the last 2 years.
I guess we're telling each other, stop getting fat. Apparently, that's the only thing I can think of. Number 8 is furniture. So we don't buy, we weren't going to buy furniture for somebody else. Well, I did buy a couch for Zachary, but that wasn't for Christmas.
Year, what's our gift?
Oh yeah, we bought a
table.
A transformer table, and I got to tell you, folks, this thing is freaking heavy.
Oh god,
it goes down. It's no lie. This transformer table. If you've never seen it, they're not a sponsor, but maybe we can get them as a sponsor because we actually have one in the house. But this when we got out of the box, it was really small. It's
like a desk.
It looks like a desk. But then it expands out, transforms it from a 2.
And remember, all
the
those
12.
leaves have to be held up by something, and what it's held up by is in
Steel.
that desk, and it is heavy.
Heavy.
It's very heavy, but it's very well built.
Yeah, that's our present for this year is our transformer table. Number 7, kitchen appliances. Some people like to get that, I guess. Number 6, board games. I saw a couple games in Walmart it seemed a little fun, might be fun to play. Number 5, clothing. As long as it's not underwear. You don't need to buy me underwear. I know what I want underwear. So I don't mind socks, but I don't like the big mailman socks. I want, what do you call that? The short, the ankle. Well,
not ankle,
has to be just a little bit above.
Ankle, just over the ankle.
Video game consoles comes in at number 4 of most anticipated gift. Popular toys from the year. Whatever the popular toy is, that's what they want. Comes in at number 3. Some people like...
I've seen those things that float, like...
Yeah.
They look cool. They have like a little ball, and they have like a little...
Where'd you see those at? I didn't see that.
I've seen advertisements for them. They look cool, like they would be neat. They have like a fairy doll that does that now, too.
Oh, okay. Experimental gifts comes in at number 2, and the most anticipated gift that they are looking forward to is actually a tie between 3 things. And I bet you could guess all 3. Really.
Alcohol?
No. Man, it's easy.
Booze?
No booze.
No
that's
booze.
the same thing, Tara.
I know, but I
don't know what you're drinking over there, but that's the same thing.
But that's what everyone at work wants.
No booze, no. It's a new smartphone, a laptop, and of course, a TV. But we don't need any of those.
And the smartphone comes with a bill, so I don't want it.
Well, it does now. Well, it always did.
Well, yeah. I mean, you either have to pay $800 or put it on your bill and pay $20-$30 a month for the rest of your life. So is it worth it?
You could get a pre-owned one at Gabe's for $4.99. That's not as bad.
$4.99?
No, $499. But what I'm saying is
that's not as bad as $800.
Because sometimes Zachary's paying over $1,000 by the time he pays it off.
Oh yeah.
For a phone, by the time he pays it off, he'll need a new one.
Well, you know how he's doing that. He's not paying the extra, and he's letting you pay.
No, he's paying whether he knows it or not.
I know we've been taking.
We have his checkbook.
We're going to overdraw his checking.
No, I'm not going to overdraw his checking. But I mean, yeah, it's funny how that all worked out. So that's it. We finished up. We're done. Okay, we're done for the.
That's good.
And man, we really appreciate all you folks that have stuck with us and listened to us. We hope that you had a great Thanksgiving, and as we move on. And don't forget, you can follow us and subscribe to the show. You'll get an alert every Monday of a brand new show coming out. And also you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter, Just Talking Out Loud. You can email us if there's something you'd like to talk to us about at justtalkingoutloud@gmail.com or however you want to. We're also on Facebook. Yeah, you can do it that way on Facebook or Twitter too. I need to do more on there to kind of engage people. I need to do more engaging. But I don't do it.
You actually have to be around.
Well, that's true. It's hard because we're working.
Full-time,
I'm working full time. Yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to be doing this while you're working. I'm supposed to be doing my work.
This is work.
And this is my hobby.
Yes.
This is a hobby. But yeah, that's it. We're out of here, and we will see you next time.
Have a blessed week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.